Hello, hello.
Hello, everyone.
Happy Friday.
It is Friday.
Yeah. I don't know how we got to Friday.
Feels like a Thursday to me.
I only know it's Friday. I really didn't know until I said that. But it's Friday. So
Y'all made it.
We made it to the end of the week, and we are going to talk about an indie comic that is on Kickstarter right now with Justin Cristelli, the writer of Red Knight. Bring him on in. How you doing, Justin?
I am doing fine. How are you people doing today?
No complaints. Day's almost done.
Good.
Excellent. Let's
Shout
get rid
out
of this
to
day.
Alonzo from Team Nerd Herd in the chat.
Hello.
Hey, Alonzo.
So not only, Justin, have you watched the show and I've seen you in the chat a lot, but you know Caroline another way too, right?
I know, it's this weird coincidence thing here that
she just feel like really good friends.
Yeah, and it just we served in Nam together. It's something we don't talk about, but we saved each other's lives. But no, I mean, she works at the store I go to. I frequent the fantastic. That's right, and you frequent mine.
Yes, box lunch.
That's right.
So we even shop at each other's stores. Are we surprised?
It was so weird. It was so funny when I first saw you in my store. It's like, oh, okay, fine. That makes sense. Hello. So yeah, we've known each other for I don't know, like a little over a year or something like that.
Yeah, right.
Feels like it.
Almost. I think because early September was when I first started. So
yeah. It's always very cool talking to you. I'm sorry?
I was gonna say I remember Caroline talking to us about how she was working and there's actually been multiple people that are like, are you on YouTube?
A few people come in and they're like, I've seen you on the internet before, and I'm like, oh no. No.
Now I've done it.
God no. Terror immediately struck.
No.
Let's see. Yeah, I occasionally have people that don't know I have a YouTube, and it's always like it's always one of those weird things where it's like, oh yeah, you have a YouTube or something like that. Yeah, it's been around for years and years.
Yeah, an interview tonight. What do you mean? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I had to tell. I mentioned to my manager like I couldn't stay longer today because I've got an interview today. Sorry.
They're like, excuse me, and I'm like, no, not a job interview, Greg.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, it's an interview about my job, but not exactly the same thing.
It relates to work.
Yes.
Exactly. So, speaking of, the Red Knight is the comic that you've got, and you're on 6 issues now.
Correct. Yes. Issue 6 came out. Really, actually realized I had a bit of a longer hiatus than I expected, but issue 6 came out almost a year ago, and I'm preparing issue 7 right now, and I'm way ahead on my scripts. I actually just finished issue 14 in scripting.
Oh heck yeah!
Wow. And I know, very excited about it. We haven't started the art on that one. The base, the black and white art is finished on issue 10, which I'm really excited about that issue, which I plotted a long time ago, actually. And let's see. So, I'm kind of got 6 issues in the can. 6 issues are available at your store, by the way, and also on manospublishing.com. So I thought it would be fun to kind of celebrate. I thought it was about around time to celebrate with a Kickstarter for a trade paperback, and it's collecting the first. What have we got here? Let's see. I made sure to bring my. Got the first 3 issues traded, And that's what the whole trade paperback is for. It's the first story arc. It kind of establishes the series. It has I have a pinup gallery. I have a wonderful introduction from Bob France.
Nice! I adore Bob.
Me too. We've been friends for a while, and he was nice enough to do the intro for me. For those of you who don't know, he was once afternoon DJ on 96X, and he's become a comic writer himself with Metal Shark Bro, and which is just my favorite of his books, actually. And he's been just doing some really killer stuff for Scout Comics, I think, right now. Mm-hmm. And so he was just kind enough to show me a little intro for it. Also got like 2 short stories and really awesome pinup gallery from all the talented artists I work with. And I probably should. I'd like to lead with starting, mentioning them. Like JC Grande is my main artist. He did most of the art on the first 3 issue arc. He did the cover. He did the original cover in white, and I asked him to do a whole new cover in black, white, and red, and he killed it, as always. There's also, he's been doing some really cool. He's been posting some really cool shots, some fan art on his Facebook and Instagram of just simple colors. And I was like, oh man, I'd really love him to do like a cover like that with Red Knight, and we started talking about it. I also have Shiloh Penfield, who is one of the artists who works on the book. She did issue 6, and she did the art for issue 10. And she has like this beautiful, dramatic, also a different style than JC, and that's kind of on purpose. I have her work on several different stories because they kind of. I love it when, like, some characters you can tell different stories by using different art, and it really connects. And I
feel like the art can really make or break like emotional impact of a story 100%.
Yeah,
correct. It can create atmosphere and mood, just by the simple art style. Also, there's another artist I think is awesome, James Harmon. He did the cover for issue 4. He's doing some work for me as well. I asked him to mimic the Weekend at Bernie's poster with this cover.
Okay.
And he knew exactly what I was talking about. Absolutely adore his work. He did a short story in the trade paperback. He has a whole 5-6 page short. Which is
Do you know how many pages it is altogether? The trade.
The trade is 110 pages. It's includes everything I mentioned, like the 3 issue, which the first few issues of the series is 25 pages each instead of the normal 22, because I am a very amateur writer at times, and I just can't fit into 22. So I just went for it. And I have this wonderful art gallery. I'm very proud of some of the work in there. There's some other like insanely talented artists who did some work, including a friend of mine, Jeff Hewitt. He had 2 Red Knight pinups he did for me, and I've included that in this piece. Yes.
I was going to say, so for those that don't know what Red Knight's about.
Yeah, probably should mention that. He is a character I created many years ago. Long story short, I was writing some Spider-Man fan fiction. I thought it'd be funny if Spider-Man ran into a teenage hero inspired by him. And I started really liking the character I made. So I was like, oh, why don't I just kind of develop this instead of just doing fan fiction with him? And that turned into Todd McLean, the Red Knight. And he is a young superhero. He's like 23 at the start of the series. And he's grown up in a superhero universe, much like the Marvel and DC, the standard issue superhero universes. And he wants to be a hero. Something terrible happened to him that, fortunately or unfortunately, however you want to look at it, gave him super strength. And he's kind of in the Spider-Man, Luke Cage level of strength. He's, bulletproof. He's not indestructible, but, he can take a pounding. and handle himself. He also has very cheap gadgets, like Batman on no budget whatsoever.
Like cosplay level gadgets.
Yes, duct tape stuff.
Heck yeah.
His uncle Nathan R. Anderson, he just loves this idea that they're going to fight crime together. So he just kit bashes anything he can for him. He's developed these like old Colts that shoot these gel bullets, so they stick people. He's been trying to come up with non-lethal weapons for him. And he's all set. It's like, okay, I got the costume, I got the gadgets, I got the super strength. The problem is the laws have changed since he's grown up, and things have happened in the world, and now you have to have a license and be a registered superhero with the government. And if you do this, you have to either sign up with the government and they like ship you off to wherever they need to, like the military. Like you can't just join the military and go, oh, well, I'm just going to kick around here and protect.
Wherever they go, your power's most needed or whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to protect Chesapeake. I'm like, no, we're going to ship you off. Or if you have like $100,000 to spend every year on a license, you can be a contractor, and he doesn't have that much. So he's kind of like a vigilante outlaw, which he is kind of like on the run from the law as well as like criminals, except he runs into this police detective, Martha Brown, who is part of a special unit in Norfolk. She is part of their superhuman crimes, which Norfolk has a problem with super people. They come through. It's sort of like a transitional. Norfolk is like a Navy town, and people kind of stroll in and stroll out. And well, in a superhero universe, some of those people would be villains, and some of those people, get their asses kicked in New York, and they got to recover somewhere. So they show up in Norfolk. No one's looking for them there. So he kind of runs into very different villains, like technical villains and magical villains and stuff like that. So there's a need for this department, but it's like not very well budgeted. Martha Brown is not very respected in her, the whole police department actually. And so she sees this guy in action, and she thinks, he's not a total idiot. I think he's got something here. He's got heart. So she kind of comes up with this plan to just secretly train each other. Like she'll train him how to fight crime correctly, and he'll help her on her cases. And that's where our story begins. That's where
it's got a little bit of like Batman Commissioner Gordon vibes going on.
Yeah,
it does. Let's see. What's funny is maybe I'm kind of revealing myself here. Is I was a big influenced on the Greatest American Hero TV show because I thought that dynamic of the cop or the federal agent in that show was the one kind of calling the shots, going, look, you put on your costume and go, beat up these guys for me, and I'll show up and arrest everyone. And I thought that was so hilarious. It stuck with me all the way until the present. And that's kind of their relationship at first. And she is someone who's been around. She's a few years older than him. And she's kind of like had her optimism kind of like wrecked and ruined and destroyed in this world. And she is unknowingly kind of like teaching herself to be optimistic again. And I've been kind of billing Tom McClane, the Red Knight, as the last optimistic man in a cynical world, because the world has kind of lost its, I don't know, I don't want to say, but I don't want to say magic because that's way too cheesy, but this kind of like, they had this belief that heroes could help and heroes could do anything, and then over the years, just society has just kind of dragged everything down, and some heroes are kind of given up, have become rather cynical, and some are just kind of just complete sellouts. Where there'll be heroes for money and or heroes for the government, or just whatever whatever the paycheck is. And he grew up believing in the things they talked about, and he still believes in that, even if the heroes he grew up with don't anymore. And it's one of those things where I've kind of stumbled on something that I've been kind of doing. I've been trying to break into something, in this time, in this regard, comics and writing. And, you learn over years that maybe your heroes aren't as perfect as you thought they were.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the story that Red Knight's story has been very quickly becoming as I've been writing the series.
Okay. I like that. It's kind of like what happens, it's something I can think is very homage, not maybe intentionally said, but like Miss Marvel is very poignant on that. And that's something they're doing right now is like she starts out as this massive hyper fangirl and meets them and realizes, oh, you guys don't know what you're doing at all. You have no clue what you're doing. You're just clueless to me.
Yeah, I fell in love with Miss Marvel instantly, and I was already a little bit into working at Red Knight, so I was like, oh, okay, I get this book instantly. Like, I understand this character. I think some of the books I read, some of the TV shows I watch are kind of like that kind of hero, that well-meaning doofus who, has this, strong vibe about what they want to do, even if it's harder than they think. And like I've been watching Owl House, and Owl House, the hero of that show has a very similar kind of vibe. Like she knows what she wants to do, and it's not as easy as it looks. And not everybody's cool as you thought they were. So that's been really exciting to write.
Nice.
So I have been doing the Kickstarter. Let's see. Like I said, this is kind of a celebration of the series, at least the first 3 issues. I'm going to kind of try and spread out my trade paperbacks. I'll do a couple of arcs, and then I'll do a trade paperback and a couple more arcs and trade paperback. I kind of, don't want them to overlap each other too much. So I have a 3-issue arc coming up, 7 and 9, and then after that comes out, I'll probably do the second trade paperback, which is about. I have them right here. Let's see. Yeah, this will probably be the second trade paperback, and this one's called "The Birds and the Bees Listers." So
that's a fun subtitle.
Thank you. Let's see. And these are actually individual stories that kind of like, tie together. And that's something I'm kind of going to be doing more and more of. I have
not quite anthology, a little more related.
That's kind of, I love like one-shot issues. And I feel like Marvel, DC, and Independence have been really kind of walking away from that. And there's a real nice magic to it if you can get a really good one-shot. But at the same time, it's really cool when a one-shot leads into another one and they eventually pay off. And that's a thing I like writing. And actually, that's kind of
story.
Yeah. That's a arc I'm actually gonna start writing later this year. I've done a kind of epic romance story arc from 10 to 14, which has a lot of fighting in it for some reason. But and let's see. Also, after that, 15 through 20 is going to be that kind of story where it's like one shot leads into the next, and that one's going to be a lot of fun. And I don't want to kind of give too much away on that one because I actually haven't started writing it yet. But I
was about to ask, have you started on it yet?
Haven't started on it. I've started plotting them, and
recording it up.
Yeah. And I'm kind of doing some work on the Kickstarter here and a couple other projects. So I'm kind of going to let that sit until maybe the fall and then start writing it. But I see what you got going on right now with the Kickstarter. I think I'm less than $200 away right now from my goal.
Yes.
Which is fantastic.
$769.
Not bad. And
almost the same number of backers and days.
That's right. Oh yeah, shit. That's cool. That's been a lot of fun. So I'm going to be doing. I got some things on here. I got a few awards. I got like a pop figure. Oh, actually, I have that right here.
I think I saw those sold out, if I'm remembering correctly.
They did sell out. That's right. You can't have those.
That's exciting.
I know. Lindsay makes these. Let's see. She even made the box here. Whoops. She even made the box here.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Hey, she thought that was impressive.
Oh, thank you.
I love custom Funko Pops. I think they're the coolest things.
They are amazing. And unfortunately, yeah, they are. This one is sold out for this Kickstarter. Good news is I tend to do them each Kickstarter. So if you missed it this time around, you'll be able to catch it next time. And let's see. I also got, if I can reach with my tiny arms. This I don't think this one's sold out. It's the Red Knight Custom Mego figure, which this kind of spawned out of a conversation I had with a fan of mine.
Ooh.
And I am a child of the 70s, and the 70s was ruled by a action figure line called Mego. And they made these 8-inch dolls, action figures. You know, they had clothing and like big accessories and stuff like that. And they literally had the license for everything, like everything. They had Marvel and DC. They had Planet of the Apes, Star Trek, Welcome Back, Kotter, Starsky and Hutch.
Okay.
Cher. They had Cher for like 3 years. Yes. And they actually tried to go after Barbie with Cher. And they actually did pretty well with Cher. The thing they lost, they lost the license when she got divorced. So anyway, I talked about like, oh man, you know, I just posted like a link in discussion on my Red Knight Facebook about that, and a fan of mine like messaged me and said, "Hey, I custom make these. I can make a Red Knight for you." And I said, "Sure, okay, that sounds great." And then it looks like this fantastic thing.
Yeah, that's incredibly well done.
Yeah, so I like said, "Hey, do you mind like making these for for the next Kickstarter?" And so yeah, that's kind of how that's happened. He makes these awesome figures. I absolutely in love with them. So they're still available on the Kickstarter. So if you want to do that, you can get the Mego figure as well as, you know, the trade with it. I'm also doing, of course, digital as well. So, you know, if you roll with digital, you can do both print and digital and the Mego figure. I also have a Red Knight shirt, which I do not have a proper picture of. I just had one made. But it's pretty cool. It's pretty.
Is it the one you posted on your Instagram the other day?
Yes, yes.
Might be able to pull that up then. Do that real quick.
Yeah. Pulling up the image music.
We get some music.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh man, look at that guy.
Oh, he's quicker. Let's do that.
I was like, these are in my recent chats.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Bam.
Yep, that's me. And yeah, that's fun. That's also available as well.
And that's your Instagram in case anybody wants to find out.
That's right. And I just that's right. You can get my super cool thoughts and pics on my Instagram. Also, if you don't care about that stuff and just want to see the stuff I write, I just launched a Manos Publishing Instagram, so you can see about stories I got coming up, behind the scenes stuff, upcoming appearances, like stuff about my vampire novel. That's available at Manos Publishing as well. You can hear about stuff like that. I really should have done a Kickstarter for this. That would have been a good idea.
For the next one and include it in it.
Man, I got to tell you, it takes longer to write this.
I believe that's a lot more words.
Oh my God, it's so much.
I have seen some other writers doing a mix where they'll do their comic on Kickstarter and they'll do their novels on Kickstarter sometimes, but then they'll do their comic, put their novel in like the add-ons.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's a good idea. I should have done that.
And then they'll do a novel and then throw their comics in the add-ons.
Yeah.
Is it too late to edit? You can always add a new add-on in.
I could see. That's not a bad idea. Here's a fun fact. I am terrible at this. I am a very bad businessman. I relate to Bob Belcher a lot.
Don't look at me, man. I don't know how to do that stuff.
That's right.
For work post on Instagram.
I relate to Bob Belcher a lot from Bob's Burgers. Like, I feel like I'm pretty good at the thing I do. I just suck at selling it. It's just not the best. But that's actually not a bad idea. I'll see if I can do an add-on. What do you think about doing this as an add-on?
Oh, that's an interesting idea.
Well, Lindsay agrees, so it's happening.
There you go.
There we go.
That's
Your
right.
wife's approval. That's all that matters.
That's right.
And she's part of the comic, right? So
that's right. Like I mentioned before, I can't remember if this is before or after we went live. Lindsay is my co-editor. She's my editor. She formats the book. This book would not exist or not exist as well without her. Like, she is everything to me. So, she puts a lot of work into this book, and I pay her awfully. Like, it's just terrible. It's shocking. But yeah, we haven't. She's putting together the trade paperback. So actually, I told her, like, look, you come up with your price this time around. So have you come up with a price yet for?
I have to add up everything that I've done.
Okay, that's gonna be
smart woman. Count them hours.
That's right.
Got it logged. Like, you're gonna have.
She's on hourly, not salary.
That's right. She does charge hourly. Yes, she does. She also is an artist too. She's extremely talented artist. She has Silent Orchid Studios. She makes plush art. She paints. She just entered a contest, which I'm like really excited for. I can't wait to see the results of that. But she is stunningly good.
Quite the crafty family.
I think so. We're pretty crafty. Yeah. I think so.
And you said she makes the Funko Pops too.
Yes, she does the custom Funko Pops, and that kind of started as I've been trying to figure out like some kind of like figurine or something like that for Red Knight for a while, and I think you're the one who brought up the Fun Pop idea to me.
Oh yeah, because I knew that they had blank ones they could customize.
Yeah, and I said, okay, let's give it a shot, and she jumped over the moon as far. I was expecting like, okay, maybe it'll look okay, and like it was far superior than what I even anticipated. So that became like a thing. And I do occasionally sell them at comic conventions and stuff like that.
You got it at Noise, right?
Yeah, we were at Noise, Norfolk Nice, Noise, and that was a lot. That was a lot of fun. I got to tell you, man. I've been to two of those, and the first one I went to, and I think the first one Lindsay you went to by yourself and said, you got to do this next year. This is a really good show. I was like, okay, it's indie, like we're doing a superhero book, like
it's Norfolk Indie Comic something Expo.
It's Expo, yeah.
Yes, NOICE.
Correct. And she said, you should try out. And I was like, okay, I did it. And it did very well. Like, that was a very good show for me. And I was like, okay, great. This is going to be a great year for conventions and shows with Red Knight. And this was February 2020. So little did I know that was going to be the convention year for me.
That was it. That was the convention.
That was it. And like Lindsay and I already bought a table at Tidewater Comic Con at that point. And, eventually this year we got to finally go. And that was a really good show. I'm doing, speaking of shows, I'm doing Fantasy, which is the Chesapeake Central Library show for science fiction and horror. That's a really nice show. It's a free show. It's 2 days. It's July 23rd and 24th, completely free. Just come in and have fun. That's all that's required. And I have a table there. Lindsay, you have a table too, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, Lindsay has a table
Very
too,
nice.
selling her wares. And what's that?
I said, I'll come harass you both.
Please. Let's see. Then after that, I have a zine show at South Norfolk, and South Norfolk is also doing this really killer indie comic show as well in October, I believe. So very excited about that.
I didn't know about
and I
that.
think It's the first year they're doing it. I think it's for Indie Comics Day, and the organizers are really excited about it, and I am too. So I can't wait to get to it.
That's exciting.
Sounds like a lot of fun conventions coming up.
I hope so, yeah. Next year, I hope to do a couple of out-of-state Virginia conventions. Like, I love Baltimore Con. I love Heroes Con. And those are really good shows, and I haven't done them.
You should look at the GalaxyCon circuit, too.
I should hit that. You're not the first person who's mentioned GalaxyCon to me. And,
it's pretty popular.
I should definitely check it out, because you were the second, third person this year to name drop that to me.
I mean, I go to those, so.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Can vouch. I spend money at them. I see people spending money at them.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm trying to think. I've done PhillyCon a couple times, which is nice. Had a good show in Philly back in 2014. I think it's
forever ago.
I know, it's so long, but yeah, I don't know. It's really fun to do like the local shows a lot because, like you mentioned, the fact that Red Night takes place in Norfolk, Virginia.
It's fun seeing the actual locations that are like real places.
It is cool, and that's one of the fun things I've done about this series is I've actually done location scouting for this book. Like I've gone to places and taken pictures because none of my artists live in Norfolk.
Yeah.
So I have to kind of like take pictures of places and go, oh look, that's the rotunda.
Oh my god.
And yeah,
we drive by it every day.
That's
You're like,
right.
I know that.
They literally drive by that every day to get to work. To go home.
Here's Harbor Park. The climax of issue 6 takes place in Harbor Park. Let's see. One of my favorite. Oh, okay. One of my favorite scenes takes place in on Kali Avenue.
Oh my god, the Narrow.
Yep, the opening of issue
really
5.
Cool, like old movie theater that we have. Like. Okay. They do like Rocky Horror Picture Show where you like throw the stuff at the people and everything like that. Yeah.
One of the longest running performances of Rocky Horror has been at the Narrow, only interrupted by COVID.
Yep. I think it might actually be the longest.
It's one of the longest. I think the years ago, I remember it being cited as the third longest in the world. Which to me is impressive, and I think the second or first in the country.
Yeah. It's kind of a big deal.
The second. And it only got interrupted by a global pandemic, so not too bad. Coming back August 12th, actually. So yeah, I really enjoyed writing the scene that takes place on Kali Avenue where a giant robot shows up.
You know what? That sounds pretty bar for Kali Avenue, if we're being honest.
It's quite shocking to the citizens of Norfolk. Just hanging around Kali Avenue and a giant robot kills 2 guys, and that's I do have a fun. I don't know. That was a fun scene to write because like Martha Brown shows up to investigate. She asks the cop on the scene, like, "Hey, did we get any pictures of that?" It's like, oh, yeah, only a few dozen. So that was kind of fun to write.
You gotta get the shop in there.
That's right. Maybe I might.
Let's make him walk down Colonial.
Yeah. Let's see. What is? Oh, there is actually. Actually, this store doesn't look like this anymore. But there is this store right here, like near Hardee's or something like that.
Is that the?
Yes. The abandoned store that's kind of right next to Hardee's on the 20th Street or something like that. Yeah. That's a store where it's owned by a sorcerer who used to be a superhero. And it's called, I think he calls it the Nameless Store of Magic.
You know what? Honestly, that store could totally be a portal to another world. No one would know.
It could, like, especially when I first discovered that store, because, first time I walked into that place when it was a store, it was an antique store at one point. And it had all totally this.
Some magical stuff's going on there.
So that kind of like clicked in my memory. And it's so fun because like I actually can go to places in Norfolk and kind of plot the fight and take pictures. I've actually taken pictures like, hey, I want this angle for this shot, and I'll send it to the artist.
Cool.
Yeah, and It's so cool. It's such a real cool way to do a comic.
That seems to add such another dynamic there that I don't think gets to happen a lot.
And that's true. And it's a lot of fun. And sometimes it's trial and error because JC will sometimes just add in giant like skyscrapers, and it's like, oh no, you got to get rid of those skyscrapers.
We don't got those.
Those don't exist.
No.
And what's cool is like when he did that, like I sent him another picture of like another shot of like Kali, and he just like
nice.
Made it look so realistic. And there's this building.
You can draw cruise ships in there now.
Yeah, actually, there's with the Nauticus. Let's see, what's the Wisconsin, right?
Yeah,
that's docked.
yeah.
That kind of shows up in issue 8, actually during the fight scene.
I was wondering if you were going to get any of the ships in there.
There will be in there. Norfolk Naval Base shows up in issue 14.
Nice.
The MacArthur statue, MacArthur Memorial, shows up in issue 8. Martha kills a guy using it.
Do you have any of the mermaids in the comic?
I've been trying to like come up with a scene around one of the statues. I haven't been able to get that done yet, but I am doing stuff with mermaids, by the way.
Hell yeah.
If you want to see Red Knight fight mermaids, that's coming up in an arc.
I support that decision 100%.
And actually, I make an excuse for the mermaids. This reason why in the Red Knight universe, why you see mermaid statues, is because the city of Norfolk made peace with the mermaids out of off the coast. It's like, hey, we honor you with these statues.
Yeah, we think you're cool. Don't kill us.
Don't kill our fishermen.
Thank you.
So it was kind of a peace offering to the mermaids that live in the Red Knight universe.
I mean, who's to say that it's not a peace offering to real mermaids?
That's right. So that was a lot of fun.
That's why we don't see them anymore.
Yeah, they're chill.
Yeah.
They're not bothering us.
Exactly.
Until Red Knight 15.
Till he decks a mermaid.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
well, the mermaid will deserve it. I don't want to give anything away.
That's good.
So besides Red Knight, you've got the novel there that you were showing off.
Yeah. Let's see. This is I love superheroes, but I also love horror, and I particularly love vampires. And I decided a few years ago just to write a vampire novel because I was kind of tired of almost seeing what I want to see in vampire fiction,
but not quite.
That's right. This game's so close, but it was out or
a few less sparkles.
There's no sparkles in this. They only sparkle on the dance floor. This is about Dominic and Lucia Divita. They're a married pair of vampires, and they have 3 human children, and they own a disco in 1977 New York.
Oh God, I love it already.
And the mob comes to get a piece of the action, and they say, no, screw you, we're vampires. We're not even intimidated by you.
Yeah. Get out.
And then the mob doesn't know what to do. So the only thing they can do is they call the Catholic Church on them. So that's the story. And then it's basically this family of vampires trying to save their disco from the Catholic Church. And
I'm down to clown with that.
This is available.
Call the Catholic Church.
That's right. I don't know. We can't call the cops. We were kind of like trying to
running
save
around
these guys.
going Cristo.
Yeah. So this is available on like Amazon, Kindle, Barnes & Noble, and also Manos Publishing. And if you come see me, what's that? And maybe I'll throw it on as an add-on. I don't know. That's a good idea that I just invented moments ago.
Exactly.
But yeah, this has been an awesome book to write. I'm in the process of setting up the second book right now, and I've had a lot of trouble writing it because it takes place during the 80s, and I wanted to get some the political climate exactly right for the background of the next book. And
doing real research.
I am. I've been actually researching. Well, actually, I researched the shit out of this book. I did a lot of research for this book, and I kind of know the way the monsters work in this. So now I'm kind of researching other things.
Okay.
And I hope to start writing that book this year. I actually had to kind of rewrite the climax, and I've come up with the climax I really like. Both this, it's really funny. It's like both Red Knight and Divita just started out as cool things about superheroes, cool things about vampires. And as I've been writing both of them, they've both kind of like developed into really anti-authoritarian stories. And it's been kind of fun to write. I don't know why. It just keeps
I don't know what's happening.
Keeps happening.
Yeah, just I don't know. Just pull it out of my imagination.
Just happen.
Definitely not taking any sort of inspiration from the real world. Definitely not.
No, nothing. No,
never.
It's just fantasy.
Exactly.
But that's right. But I've had a lot of fun doing this. Like Red Knight's favorite superhero is a guy named Captain Danger, who is kind of a Superman type of character mixed with Reagan. And he's definitely a guy who's seen better days and now is just kind of, I don't know, just picking up a paycheck and, working. And he is really not the guy he used to be. Let's see. I don't want to talk too much about Martha. Martha has this really, hey, kitty.
He's Mango.
That's right. Hey there. Martha Brown has this really long story arc as well. I kind of don't want to dig too deep into it, but she is not always upfront with Red Knight as far as her motivations. So that's kind of fun. There's a lot of political intrigue going on, not just with the mafia, but the police departments, as well as the superhero and supervillain communities. And I can't wait to just dive into the fact that there are contract superheroes out there. Like, look, we'll save the world, but, you got to pay us. You
got to pay me first.
Yeah. And that's going to be kind of fun. I got that kind of coming up.
Do you have, do the superheroes do, advertisement deals and things like that?
Yeah, of course. They're also, a lot of them are sponsoring. That's a big deal.
Of, the boys in there.
It's little boys, little My Hero Academia.
There's some things here and there that are kind of somewhat similar to what I like. It's kind of fun because something will come along eventually and I'll go, oh no, that's kind of sort of what I'm doing. And then I'll see it and it's like, oh, thank God, that's not my take.
Not even remotely what I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, good.
It's got bits and pieces, but it's not at all like them.
And that's one of the things. Sometimes I have writers, other comic writers, or just writers in general, ask me things like, oh, hey, I want to write this thing, but I'm worried it'll come off like this other thing, and I don't want to look like I'm ripping off anybody. And I'll tell them over and over.
How many, superheroes with dead parents are there?
No kidding.
Whose origin story comes from the trauma of their parents being killed in front of them, and suddenly now you have powers or money.
And then he was bit by a radioactive spider.
Exactly. And one of the things I'll tell people is no, look, your version of something is from you. If you have an idea, if you have a point of view, don't worry if it's too similar to this other idea, because you're telling your story, and that's going to come across. Don't worry about it being too much, like something else. Unless you are legitimately ripping off. So,
if you're plagiarizing, that's something different. Let's not do that.
That's right. Red Knight's parents, by the way. Yeah, Red Knight's parents, by the way, are alive. I'm happy to say.
Hey, look at you being unique.
That's right. They retired, and they left him and Nathan, his uncle Nathan, the bar, McLean's bar.
Did they move to Florida?
Yeah, no, they moved to Texas.
Ooh.
They live in Dallas. And yes, we will see them eventually. There's a story I have coming up where we get to visit them.
Very fun.
Let's see. And actually I don't know if I can get a good camera angle of that. The bar, actually, I mirrored after, I think it's called Jersey's on 20th Street or something like that. It's a bar near the post office. that building has been several different restaurants and bars over the years.
Yeah.
And I just kind of adopted it as the Red Knight Bar. Actually, it's called McLean's. And I always wanted to do kind of a workplace comedy. So that's kind of in the series too. So because one of the things I always thought was troublesome about superheroes is like, Donald Blake, was a doctor. He was a surgeon. People depended on him to do surgery, and he can't just run off and be Thor like willy-nilly. So I thought, well, why don't my guy just own something where he can like dip out, whenever
do that when he needs to. Yeah.
It constantly pisses off his staff, by the way. He looks like a very unreliable boss.
Makes sense.
I believe that.
But that's it. So that's kind of the situation I thought would be kind of apt. So that's kind of why he owns a bar.
Fun. I like it.
Get all the elements in there.
Oh yeah. And yeah, there are things that come from life as well. Like issue 10 is really personal. And I don't know. I hope I've kind of like made this kind of obvious, but there's like a nice kind of tongue-in-cheek vibe to this. I like my action and humor. I don't like anything too dark and serious for too long. I get kind of bored. So kind of like life is funny and stupid and horrible all at the same time. So why can't my
constantly
fiction
forever?
Yes.
Yeah.
Every day. So that's kind of Red Knight's life as well.
Fun.
I like it.
Well, maybe not fun, but interesting and makes for a good story.
I hope fun, yes. Not for him.
Fun to read, not to live through.
No. I probably would not want to live. Because I've been thinking about this, like, man, this is I probably would not want to live in Norfolk. If, like,
not if all this stuff is happening. God, no.
I know. It's like, I just want to get to the post office and go to work.
It's like living in New York during the MCU. You're like, God, there are other cities.
Destroy something else.
It's like, why is everyone here?
Oh, there goes
we're not that
again.
Cool. Like, what the hell is Ghost Rider and Hulk doing here? Get them out of here. Go back to the desert.
Here.
I know. Like every once in a while, a writer will come up with a great idea of like, oh yeah, let's put Ghost Rider in New York. It's like, everyone's in New York.
Put him in North Carolina, see what happens.
Yeah, exactly. And that's actually something I want to do with the series. You'll visit like I already mentioned, Texas and Dallas. There's these superheroes that are like all through the southern states. We're going to be visiting with them. Of course, New York is going to be designed as this major superhero mecca, but you'll get to see what the rest of the world, the rest of the country and rest of the world is like.
I feel like there would be more superhero attacks in DC, no?
I would think so. Well, DC is one of the more important places in my series.
I just mean in general, like if we talk about like reality-wise, like where people would choose to attack.
Yeah, I mean that's usually the number one spot. If you want to attack and do something bad, that or New York, I guess. Like, no one pays attention to Cleveland, I guess.
Densely populated.
Yes, I have a wonderful. I have several great peers who do awesome comics, and there's this guy. Let's see, a friend of mine who does this book called Operation Eclipse, and that's a superhero book that takes place in St. Louis. And he lives in St. Louis, and it has, kind of nice vibe to it. And I don't know, it's just kind of just having a unique location. Sometimes can just breathe air into like a superhero concept and stuff like that.
I like it.
I mean,
it's always cool to see the local stuff done.
Oh yeah, it's really cool. I absolutely love it.
Slightly more mainstream, but Rogue Sun coming from Image right now is in New Orleans, which is where I live. So
that's cool. Oh wow, have you spotted anything that kind of looks like familiar?
I feel like more so in the first issue than the subsequent issues, but that first issue, I was like, yep, I know exactly where that is. Like, and it was a more recognizable icon. Like there's both a CVS and a Walgreens on Canal Street, and they're both very recognizable.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one they put in there, but one of them was in there. And
It's like
I know.
I was reading. There's the Black series, from
Radiant Black. Oh.
No. It's it's about African American people who get superpowers, and like only African American people get superpowers.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's set in DC, and they take a trip down to Hampton, and they like show the Coliseum and everything. And I was like, I know where that is. I've driven by that. I know where that is.
Oh, that's so cool. Let's see. Norfolk doesn't make too many appearances. It did. Executioner's Song, the X-Men story. There's this one scene where a couple of the X-Men go to Norfolk to pick up Magneto or something like that. And
any funny thing, it's probably going to be like military bases.
It was exactly what you expect. It was like some kind of generic pier with like two giant ships. Like,
not
walking down the street, that's where they are.
I know we about.
Yeah.
No.
It's like, okay, good. It's like ships are there, right? Okay, I'll draw that.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is kind of the fun. I'd like to incorporate, like, not just locations, of course, but kind of like the attitudes of Norfolk. I'd like to delve more into the history of Norfolk. Norfolk has a really interesting history as a city. From what I understand, it is the only city in America that was destroyed in the American Revolution. Like the British completely annihilated it. It was rebuilt from ground up.
I didn't even know that.
And there's also, what was that? There's that mass grave that's off of Colley Avenue. You told me about.
Oh, that's a yellow fever mass grave from the 1850s.
I did know about that one. Yeah.
Yeah. There's also the Ocean View Park story. I'm fascinated with Ocean View Park and its history, and I have like a plot developing about that, and that's kind of the thing I want to do more with the series as we go.
Okay. Yeah, I did not know this.
Burned down twice.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise me, given like it was a military town and everything like that.
It was a strategic point. Yeah, the British weren't wrong for targeting us.
Not surprised.
Yeah, that was probably a good idea on their part. So yeah, that's the kind of thing I'd like to incorporate with the series, because I one of the things I like about like Spider-Man or some of the heroes with fictional cities is they have like this nice marriage and relationship with the cities. Batman and Gotham and stuff like that. And I really like to do that with Red Knight and Norfolk. I don't want Norfolk to just be a city, a generic city in the background for a hero to jump around and stuff like that. I kind of want it to kind of be a character as well in the series. Because I really find, I don't know, I've always enjoyed this city, and I always wanted to live here when I grew up. I grew up in Virginia Beach, and my dad took me to Norfolk once on a.
It's basically the same thing.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And,
it's like a 15-minute drive away.
I know, it's not that much. But as soon as I saw Norfolk, it's like, I gotta live here. This is the place.
It's just something about it, especially the Ghent area. It's just convenient. Yeah. It's nicer.
It's just such a good vibe. It's just, I don't know. It's always suited me. So of course I want to blow parts of it up. In fiction.
Just the parts you don't like.
Of course. What do you know? But do it in a safe, fun way in comics.
Not really blow it up.
Yeah. No, come on. That gets old. Let's see. A funny story about the Britsburg information.
Burned it on the way in and the way out.
That's right. That sounds like the Brits, all right.
Smart.
Right. We didn't do enough the first time. We missed it. We missed the spot.
Yeah.
We missed the spot. Let's do it again.
So like them.
Burns twice as nice the second time.
That's so funny. And let's see. And I think I don't know. That's all I got. Do you have any other questions for me?
When does the Kickstarter end? How much longer do people have?
Kickstarter ends in, I think, 22 days at the end of July. It's July 30th or 31st?
I think it's 30.
30. It's the
It's 31.
end of the month. Okay, July 31st is what you got to back Red Knight, support the book, and I'll be incredibly grateful for any support this book gets, because I have tried hooking up with publishers in the past, and it would rarely work out well. Mm-hmm. So I've decided to just kind of like throw myself into the world and try and build.
If it doesn't work for you, make it work.
Do your thing, yeah.
And I've seen some really talented and not so talented comic creators over the years build like a really good fan base for themselves, and do it outside of the system. And it's like, well,
it works.
I'm moderately smart. I can do that. I think I can do that. And so yeah, I'm just really excited about this character in this world, and I don't feel like waiting, to get permission from somebody to tell these stories. I just want to tell them.
And you don't want to tell it the way somebody else wants you to tell it. Correct.
And it's fun collaborating, and I have some collaboration plans in the future, and I will work. If you want to hire me, I will be happy to work and write what you want. But things like Red Knight, Divita, and a few other projects I read. Those are my kids, babies. And that's right. I am planning. I can't really get too deep into this because we're not really ready to unveil it. But myself and Shiloh Penfield, one of the Red Knight artists, we are working on a project right now. Step from Red Knight, and we're going to go to Webtoon. For that, and publish it on Webtoon. We're very excited about this. It's very not Red Knight. It's a completely different beast, and
exciting.
I can't wait to show this because I think it's gorgeous, and I think it's kind of funny, and it's been a ball to write, and that's kind of all I'll say right now. But I've been seeing some pages from Shiloh come in, and this thing is looking amazing. And I can't wait to get this going.
That's exciting.
Maybe after, if you don't mind, if we debut it, if we could come back on the show and maybe talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Bring Shiloh on with you.
Yeah, I'd love to.
If they're willing.
I'm sure she would. Hey, Shiloh, if you're watching this, let me know if you want to come on the show.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am.
Let's see. I haven't talked to JC Grande in person. It's all been online between him and me.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe we could. I don't know if you're watching this, JC, but maybe we can do a show online together because we are living in the future and we can just chat on streaming.
This is true.
Yeah.
That's right.
We have entered the future.
That's right. It's so weird growing up and. God, there was a TV show growing up called Space 1999, and Space 1999 was like, oh yeah, the future. Like, oh my God, can't believe it. Now it's.
Are we supposed to have flying cars right now and
nothing? It's all the garbage.
Style robot personal assistants that look more like people than my little standing tube on my dresser that I'm not. We
didn't even get our hoverboards from Back to the Future.
The Jetsons promised me.
Yeah, well, we did get shake weights.
I mean, I guess microwaves are still a thing.
Yeah.
Quite instant.
Oh, that's true.
I want spring food that immediately turns into the food. There's your lunch.
That was a futuristic idea.
Yeah.
Man, Xenon had it right.
Where can everybody find you?
Geez, I try to be everywhere. I'm on YouTube like you guys. I have
find him at Box Lunch.
I am at Box Lunch, but don't see me there. See me on the YouTubes, where I'm the Real Manos. I talk about comic books, films, animation, Mystery Science Theater 3000. You can catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I do have a TikTok. Which I am off and on with, and I just started a Manos Publishing Instagram. So if you don't need to hear me yammer on and take stupid selfies of myself. You can enjoy the side background stuff of what I'm writing. So if you hit any of my videos, if you watch any of my connections, I have a one of those LinkedIn kind of like links where you can connect.
Oh yeah, where it takes you to the whole thing that takes you to all the pages.
Yeah. You find any of my you find me on Twitter, you find me on YouTube, you can definitely kind of go from there and find me.
I linked your Instagram and Twitter down below in the description.
Excellent.
So one of those should get you to the link tree, which will get you to everything else.
That's what it's called.
That's right. Link tree. Thank you. I have the link tree on my Twitter. You can go from there to everywhere that involves me. And let's see. Of course, my Kickstarter is available. It's right now Red Knight, Knight Without a Sword on Kickstarter. That's fairly easy to find. You can support it just with starting at $1 all the way up to I think 60 or something like that. So by the way, I decided this time I'm not going to have time to do a thank you page in the book, so I'm going to send people thank you cards.
No, that's so much better. I love thank you cards.
Thank you cards are nice.
Handwritten
nice.
note.
I definitely want to do a handwritten note this time around. Usually I do a thank you page.
Signature as well. Oh crap.
That's right. Sometimes people ask me like at shows, like if I charge more for signing. It's like, no, I'm just a guy.
No, sorry, I'm not Liefeld.
That's
But
right.
also don't charge more to draw feet, so there's that.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh my God. God, I had a friend. I had a really good friend who, in Philadelphia, we went to see. He went to see Neil Adams. He was charging I think it was $200 for a portrait. So he drew one of his own character, and when we halfway home, he was like, "I can't find it anywhere." I was like, "Where did I find it?" And I was like, "Well, last I saw it was on the roof." He left it on the roof of the car.
No.
It's like, oh God, thank God I took pictures of it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's my
deal. That's my Neil Adams story.
Oh.
You just put $200 on the roof and drove away.
Yes, he did.
Oh God. That's almost as bad as the ASM 300 story about Professor. Oh God.
I know.
I'm gonna have to hear that later.
Oh, he pogged ASM 300.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Middle of the cover. Yeah, he just
Right, this was a new
right
one.
in the middle.
No.
Yeah.
This
It
was
a
back.
small child.
This was back when it wasn't
Small child life. That'd make a great toy smash.
Yeah, not ideal.
Oh, my heart hurts for him.
He's sort of made it up for it now. So
I mean, both hymns, both of them. That's painful.
Yeah.
At least he got to hold it for a little bit before
That's
he
right.
left it on the roof.
It was able to exist. He did take a picture of it, so it was on his
There you
phone.
go. Proof it
became
happens.
It was his profile pic for a little while.
Pixar, it didn't happen, right?
right.
Mhm.
Pics
Yeah.
are the only reason you know it happened.
Yeah, phone pics are like almost replaced everything. So I mean, it barely needs to exist.
Just print out the picture.
Yeah, that's right. There you go.
Good stuff.
I think he did that.
Oh.
Well, everyone, go. I linked also the Kickstarter down below,
Down below.
and it's been in the chat tonight. So
Yes.
go check it out. Go back it. Show some support. Get that to the $900 goal, and then you can start headed towards past the goal.
And then on to the next one.
That's
Yeah.
right. Let's see. I hope to surpass. It would be nice to surpass 1,000 with this. I haven't surpassed 1,000 on a Red Knight Kickstarter, so that would be fantastic. That would be like icing on the cake. But 900, I'd be happy with. But
Fingers
hey, I
crossed.
want to say thanks for letting me on the channel. I
Yeah.
really enjoy your
I'm glad
channel.
you asked.
And thank you. I'm glad you said it was cool. So I'm
You know
really
you're
happy
the
to be
homie.
on it. Thanks. I really appreciate that. But you guys have a really great channel, and it's kind of nice to be part of it.
Yeah.
I'm glad. And we definitely will have to have you and your team back for the next one whenever you guys get there.
You got it.
Yeah.
Force you.
When that webtoon.
Hey, Lindsay, do you want to be on the next one?
Maybe.
Okay, maybe I might pull
He's here
Lindsay.
in spirit, and
I'm
that's
like
what
a strong
matters.
maybe.
There we go.
All right.
Very
Well, thanks again. Thanks everyone for watching, and catch you later.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.